You know, as I mentioned, Robin is up in Chicago this weekend, and I know she is either going to be listening to this service or watching it on our website. You do know you can access our services on the website. So I think it'd be really good if we just said hello to her. So we just say hello, Robin, with me together. Hello, Robin. And in case she's watching on the website, let's just turn and look. There's a camera up in the balcony, and let's just do that again together. Hello, Robin. Yeah, we got everything covered now. I've had random thoughts going through my mind as I was thinking about the service today. I was thinking about doors and doorways. I was thinking, of course, about Thanksgiving, and I was thinking about the nature of God. And I thought, you know, somehow maybe all these things fit together, and they did come together for me. Doorways and doors have been very, very important to me. They're very symbolic for me. That's why you have a doorway, a picture of a doorway on the cover of your bulletin. That's why we've got it on the screens up here. When I worked out at Unity Village, I became just enchanted with the doors that they have out there. Many of them were handmade and hand-carved by the Unity carpenter in the, late 20s and in the 40s. And they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful, beautiful doors. And when you go through those doors, you feel like you're just walking into a different place, a different energy, and to a very prayerful energy, a very spiritual energy. When the Unity Institute building, used to be the Silent Unity building, when it was renovated in the late 80s, we had to replace all the exterior doors. But we wanted to save those doors. So if you ever go into the Unity Institute building, go up to the second floor. There's, I think it's a conference room now with this beautiful hand-carved door that leads in. It used to be where Silent Unity kept all of its prayer requests. So you can just walk in that door and you can feel that prayer energy. Or go into the library, go into the second entrance of the library, and there's these beautiful doors that are on a curved wall that are always open, and they were entry doors into the building. There's even a chandelier there that was done by the Unity blacksmith. It's an amazing thing to see. So I've been really aware of the symbolism of doors and how important doors are for me. I was thinking about Thanksgiving, of course, this week coming up. You know, you go to somebody's house. How many of you are going to somebody's house for Thanksgiving? Okay, how many of you are having Thanksgiving at your house? Yeah, what time? But you know, when you go into somebody's house at Thanksgiving, or in your house at Thanksgiving, go in the living room, and there's sofas, couches, easy chairs. People are often watching football or something, and so you get that kind of energy. You go through a doorway into the kitchen. It's a whole different energy, isn't it? The turkey cooking, or the tofu turkey thing, whatever it is. I don't. Imagine never mind. And then you go into the dining room. And I don't know what your dining room experiences are at Thanksgiving. Mine have always been, you have the long table set up with all the food there and the chairs around it, and then the card table to the side where the kids sit. And what a joy it is when you as a kid get to move from the card table up to the long table. But, you know, it just has a totally different feel to it. It's like going out to the malls nowadays, too. You open the mall doors, and you go in, they're all decorated. All the stores are decorated, and wonderful music is being played. Whether or not you like having Christmas music this time of year, there's a store at the mall which refuses to decorate at Oak Park, refuses to decorate until after Thanksgiving, until the day after Thanksgiving. Yeah. But these doors lead you from one experience into another. People will come to this church, and they'll come into the sanctuary, and they'll sit down, even when nobody else is here. The energy in here is absolutely amazing. They'll come in and sit. We had a membership class last Monday night, and we had a couple of people who were coming into membership in a couple of weeks. They were just in here praying because they wanted to be in the energy of the sanctuary. The same in our Peace Chapel, where a lot of prayer work goes on. The people just wanted to be in that kind of an energy. So doorways can take you from one energy to another, from one culture to another, from one experience to another. And as I was thinking about this, I was thinking about this talk, I was directed to two books. The first book is one of my all-time favorites. I think it's one of the best books on unity out there. It's called Discover the Power Within You by by Eric Butterworth. And I knew that Eric had a chapter on God. I knew I was going to be talking about God this week. And it's Jesus' unique concept of God. So as I reread through that chapter, and oh, by the way, we're going to be teaching this book after the first of the year, so if you get a chance, you may want to take that class with Rosie. But so I was reading through that chapter, and I thought, Jesus was truly a doorway from one understanding of God into a totally different understanding of God, a God that people didn't know. And I think a lot of people don't understand this concept of God to this day. And yet it's right there. So the other book I was drawn to was the Bible. And I'd like to share with you a couple of God concepts that are to be found in the Bible. In the Hebrew Testament, the book of Numbers. You may remember this one. And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath days, gathering sticks on Sunday. And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation. And they put him in ward, because it was not declared what should be done to him. And the Lord said to Moses, God said to Moses, the man shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died, as the Lord commanded Moses. So that was an understanding of God that they had at that time. So then Jesus came, and he sort of refers back to this whole experience. And we have this found in Mark. He says, on Sabbath, he was going through the grain fields, and as they made their way, his disciples began to pluck heads of grain. And the Pharisees were saying to him, look, why are they doing what is not lawful on the Sabbath? And he said to them, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. So I don't know, any of you do any house cleaning or dishes or anything on Sundays? Yeah. Well, the old days you'd be brought in here, and all the stone gardens we have outside, yes, the whole congregation would join together and we'd take care of that. When I was out, I saw this beautiful pink Bible for a little girl. And it contained just the Psalms and the Gospels. And you know how the Psalms are just all these prayers and everything from David and several other writers. So I was drawn to the Psalms. This was David speaking. For wicked and deceitful mouths are opened against me, speaking against me with lying tongues. So talking about someone who is speaking against David. May his days be few. May another seize his goods. May his children be fatherless, his wife a widow. May his children wander about and beg. May they be driven out of the ruins they inhabit. May the creditor seize all that he has. May strangers plunder the fruits of his toil. Let there be none to extend kindness to him, nor any to pity his fatherless children. I hope I get this line right. May his posterior, not his posterior, may his posterity be cut off. Rewind. May his name be blotted out in the second generation. May the iniquity of his fathers be remembered before the Lord, and let not the sin of his mother be blotted out. So someone who said something against David. Jesus brought a whole different concept in. He said, and it's found in Matthew, he says, but I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. So it's a whole different vision, a whole different concept. And I know in this day in the world in which we live, I know that bullying is a really big issue. And I do look forward to the day when those who are doing the bullying have as much self-awareness to know that they don't need to demean anybody else in order to raise their own level of self-awareness. I'm looking forward to that day. And I'm delighted that, I'm not sure how it is with every school, my grandson's school has a zero tolerance on bullying. But, Jesus said we've got to get a point of love. And I think the world really, really is needing love right now. The scripture that I read from Hebrew Testaments where it talks about the fatherless children and everything. It sort of reminds me of the curse, the Middle Eastern curse that's often used. And you can use this one if you want. Jesus wouldn't like it, but you can use it. May the fleas of 1,000 camels inhabit your bed. That's good, yeah, anyway. Jesus brought this whole new concept of God that people knew nothing about. And I think people today don't truly understand this concept. God is not this great being up in the heavens with this long beard who is smiting some people and prospering other people. That is not God. It's real interesting. You think of the God in the heavens. Jesus in the Lord's Prayer, the first lines of the Lord's Prayer, he says, "Our Father, which art in heaven." And later on, Jesus says, you're looking for the kingdom of heaven. You're looking there, you're looking there, you're looking up there, you're looking down there. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Our God who is within us. Our God who is within us. We have the very essence of God within us. And this was Jesus' message to us. We have this essence. And when asked what God is, Jesus said, God is love. So we can say we have this very essence of love, this pure essence within us. Now, we don't always show it. We don't always show it, but we have this essence of God. This concept of God, that God's not out there, but God's within us, is really one of the fundamental teachings in the unity movement. God is love. Jesus said God is spirit. Jesus talked about oneness. He said, God and I are one. And Jesus said, the things that I do, you can do, and even greater things you can do. Because we're one with God. So think about that for a minute. We are one with God. God is not a living being, an angry presence. God is love. God is life. God is abundance. The teachings of Jesus were the cornerstones of Charles Fillmore, our co-founder's teachings. He said unity is a return to first century Christianity. And what he meant by that was unity is a return to the Gospels, the teachings of Jesus. When asked what the most important scripture in the Bible was, he actually referred to Paul, and he said, Christ in you, your hope of glory. Christ in you, your hope of glory. So what does this mean for us? What does this mean for us? Well, for us, it means we have to start embracing this concept of God. Jesus said to us, you are the light of the world. Remember him saying that? If not, come to our candle lighting services, and we'll use that phrase a lot. You are the light of the world. He said that, and then he started, and that's nice. That feels really good, doesn't it? You're the light of the world, and you're the light of the world, and you're the light of the world. Then Jesus started meddling. He said, it's not enough for you to be the light of the world. You've got to let your light shine. You've got to let the world see your light. And I was wondering what would happen if we changed one of the words in that. You're the light of the world. What if you are the love of the world? How does that fit? You are the love of the world. Would you affirm with me? I am the love of the world together. I am the love of the world. How's that feel? Let's do it again. I am the love of the world. How about this one? I let my love shine. Together. I let my love shine. You can use that with anything. I am the life of the world. I let life shine through me. Sig Paulson, one of our, Sig and his wife Janie were ministers Unity Village Chapel for many, many years. And I remember one time I went up to Sig and I had a cold, and I said, Sig, I'm not going to hug you. I have a cold. I don't want you to catch my cold. Sig said, no, but I want you to catch my healing. Life, life. I am the abundance of the world. I let my abundance shine forth. Totally new concept. I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about God not being this being out in space. And the more I thought about it, though, I realized God does have hands. Have you ever seen God's hands? Hold your hands up. Just take a look at your hands. Those are God's hands. And God has a heart. God's heart. And God has feet. These are God's feet. You are God's hands, and you are God's heart, and you are God's feet. And it's our task. The world is just ready for change. It's our task to go forth and be that love and life and abundance into the world in which we live. It's going to come through us. You are the light and the love and the abundance of the world. This really came together for me when, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, my whole family caught the epizooties. Now, the epizootie is a medical term. It means whatever it is that's going around, that, they all caught this head cold stuff. They all ended up with pneumonia. So we were at the doctor's many times, and I was looking at the doctor, and I love my doctor. You go in and see my doctor, and he holds out his hands. And I was thinking, these are God's hands, wholeness. The health of God is moving through him, helping to heal me right now, bringing that healing energy through me right now. And I was thinking, we had to go get prescriptions and everything, and I thought, those are solidified prayers, those prescriptions, because they really help us move to a place of being whole. And so that's really when I became aware recently of what it means to be the hands, the heart, and the feet of God. So I was thinking about God, I was thinking about doorways, I was thinking about Thanksgiving. And Tom just said it beautifully in his announcements. Thanksgiving is a time when many families come together, right? And do you ever have that, any of you have that person in the family you don't want to be there? Well, I'm the only one. I had an aunt, and I didn't know until I was about 7 or 8 that I didn't like my aunt. And you know how I found out I didn't like my aunt? I think I was in the room next to where my aunts and uncles were talking. And I was playing, and I overheard my other aunts and uncles saying how horrible this person was. And here's this aunt that I had just loved until I was that age, and all of a sudden I couldn't like her anymore because she was a horrible, horrible person. I don't know what she did. But, children just pick this stuff up. So I was thinking about that. I was thinking about Thanksgiving. And I may not she passed, so I really have not had much experience with her other than till I was about 9. But I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, I didn't share with you my doorway, did I? Oh, thank you, Barbara. Okay, this is important. We're talking about all the doorways. And, some of the doorways are magical. Did you know that? I've got one in my office that's a magical doorway. Because when I go to talk to Robin, I'll go from my office, I'll pass through the doorway to head to her office, and I'll totally forget what I was going to talk about. Now, some people said it was aging, but I know it's not. It's the doorway. Because as soon as I turn around and go back through the doorway, I remember what I was going to talk about. So I call it the doorway of forgetting. And then, I'll write a note or cross my fingers or something, and I'll go through that doorway again, and I'll remember. So if any of you have that, it's your doorway. That's the only challenge. So I was thinking about my aunt, and I thought, on a Thanksgiving, I don't know why I've been holding her in prayer as we move into this Thanksgiving week, but I thought I'd love to be able to go through a doorway of forgetting and a doorway of forgiving and just sit and talk with her, to hear a little bit about her life's journey. Robin did a great talk on how you don't have to like people a few weeks ago, but we do have to love them. And I would just love the opportunity to love her without all the outside influence saying that I shouldn't like that person. Well, I want to acknowledge you today. I said that this new concept of God has this energy of God, this essence of God within us, and we are the hands, we are the feet, we are the heart of God, and you have been that. And I truly, truly want to acknowledge that. I think of care for poor people. And, the church has given a gift to care of poor people. Many of you will be down there helping Richard and working with the Care of Poor People organization. I was thinking of harvesters, where we contribute food every month to harvesters. And I went down earlier this week, or late last week, into the basement, and the barrels were full and boxes were full of food that's being donated to harvesters. And so, I want to thank you. Thank you so much for that, because in that way you're being the love and the abundance and the very life of God. You're being the hands of God. I was thinking about our Share the Joy program, where we go out and we buy Christmas gifts for kids or adults who may not otherwise have Christmas. Can we have the slide? These are some of the adults that came in last year who otherwise might not have gotten any Christmas, but because of you, they each got a present. So I was thinking about our Share the Joy program. Do we have any more of the Share the Joy tags? We have. Why don't you bring them up? I want to bless them. I think I want to get another one. We picked up several, but I want to get another one. If it looks like this is staged, it was. I'm going to take this one. Darian, age 16. I'm not sure he's getting an MP3 player. A McDonald's gift card, some shirts, some pants. Age 16, wearing a 10 and a half shoe. Could be a big boy. So I'm going to take one. Any of you want just to take one of our Share the Joy cards? You haven't picked it up yet? Just raise your hand. We'll bring them around. You are the hands and feet of God. I think we've got like 40 of these left. So, and if you want to pray about it, you can pick them up out in the lobby. They'll be in the lobby and downstairs in the Harmony Hall afterwards. To share the love that you are with these people. Just fill the card out. There's more over here. Fill the card out and make sure the white portion is given to the people at the counter out there so they can keep track of this. Or you can take this out there and fill it out in front of them. They'll take care of you. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for the gift that you are and that you have been in this ministry. Our banner over there says touching hearts, changing lives, and that's probably one of the biggest things that we do in this ministry is we touch hearts and we change lives. So the thing I want you to leave here with in my talk today, just a couple things. First of all, I want you to find a doorway. I want you to find a doorway of forgiving and forgetting, a doorway that you can walk through and just forget all the stuff. I want you to answer God's help wanted call, to be God's hands and heart and feet, and go out and let's change this world in which we live. It's just waiting for us. I want you to know that the love, the life, the wholeness that you're seeking is already a part of you. The abundance that you're seeking is already a part of you. Any of you ever pay bills? When you send out those bills, Charles Fillmore in his book Prosperity says, show the same faith in the recipient of that payment that they have shown in you. Bless those things. Put a statement, an affirmation on your check or in the memo line that God is the source of all good. Be God in expression. David White, the poet, says, give up all the other worlds except the one to which you belong. And the one to which you belong is the world of God, the world of love and light and peace and joy. Folks, you are the light of the world. Let your light shine. God bless you.